Hello, my name is Chris Anthony Mayorga, and this is my final speech on UBI. Let us begin. Inequality has plagued humankind forever. Since the beginning of time, it seems that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Today, with technology and other advancements, companies can make more money for less cost than ever in history. And I say we, me, and you deserve to benefit from that. Enter Universal Basic Income, or UBI for short. UBI is a plan that allows everyday people to benefit from these technological advancements that companies are using to rake in millions, billions, sometimes even trillions, it seems. I'm talking about a $500 or $1,000 check given to us every month. Popular phrase goes along, UBI cannot exist without capitalism. And I want you to understand that, because UBI is not socialism, it's not communism, or anything of those lines. Today, the speech will take a distinctive approach. I will discuss the 3 most common criticisms of UBI. I will tell you why they're false, and you will learn why UBI is a good thing. Foremost, how on earth do we pay for UBI? Naturally. Seems like a reasonable question. Next up, criticism that UBI will result in people not working. Something I disagree on, and you will learn too. And finally, the most cynical criticism of UBI, that people are simply not trustworthy with their money. Today you will see why UBI should be reality and why these criticisms are false. Let us begin. Yes, the big elephant in the room. How do we pay for UBI? Sounds like a good thing, but like many good things that leftists and liberals want, they seem like they can't be made. And I understand that sentiment. Most critics of UBI, they suggest proponents wanting to pay for it through printing money, minting coins, trillion-dollar coins, or that nature, exploding the deficit, or they say that we want to redistribute wealth by taxing the rich. Both of these things are things I disagree with, and they will result in economic harm. Instead, I support an idea by 2020 Democratic nominee Andrew Yang. On Yang2020.com, Andrew Yang describes the value-added tax as, quote, value-added tax, VAT, is currently used by 160 out of 193 countries, including every developed nation except the US, because it is a more efficient way of generating revenue with no loopholes. Big companies and rich people are excellent at moving assets around to avoid taxes. Amazon, Google, and other companies funnel hundreds of billions in earnings overseas. In fact, Amazon paid 0 taxes last year. A VAT tax would make it impossible for them to benefit from the American people, automation, and infrastructure without paying their fair share. By implementing a VAT, the American people will get a tiny sliver from the transactions of big winners from the 21st century boom, the trillion-dollar tech companies. End quote. Now, I don't know about you, but the idea of Jeff Bezos paying taxes like you and me sounds like a good idea. Now, the VAT tax will not cover 100% of UBI, but it will cover a significant portion. The rest would come from consolidating things like unemployment to UBI, as well as spending cuts in areas such as military and anywhere we could find a pragmatic way to save money. Next up, the list of the common critiques of UBI, that giving people $1,000 every month or so will make them not want to work. So the theory goes that that people will become lazy by getting money. We won't have people to be janitors, we won't have hotel workers, we won't have dishwashers, any other unglamorous job. Now, an article from FT.com on February 11, 2018 by author Ian Golden describes this. He says UBI is an incentive not to work and says it will lead to lifelong dependence. Now, this theory has no backing, and everyone disagreed. I see workers getting money and less incentive to take an undesirable job as more incentive from the employer to offer a better job. Now, what this means is that employer, instead of offering only $10 for being a janitor or such, maybe they'll offer $15 or so. Maybe a job will have benefits included. And in turn, maybe companies will gain a much better workforce and lower turnover rates. It seems that the benefits aren't just for the workers either. There could be benefits to companies who are also supporting this. Finally, the most cynical and the criticism that bothers me the most It's the thought that people who receive UBI cannot be trusted with money. This attitude seems to blame people for their own position in life, and I understand where this sentiment comes from. But used on a global scale, saying all impoverished people are there just because they wanted to be there, I think is a horrible misjudgment. This idea is exemplified in an article on Forbes.com from January 15, 2019 by Milton Ezrati. The vulnerabilities of the disadvantaged also upset easy calculations in support of UBI. Welfare includes demands such as drug tests and home visits because its recipients often have trouble managing their lives, much less their finances. The predominance of payday loan operations in poor neighborhoods, along with furniture leasing outlets and the like, speaks not only to the cash-short nature of residents, but also to their susceptibility to hucksters. End quote. This author both suggests people needing help are incapable adults that deserve to be drug tested, but also suggests people wanting a bed or a sofa that they really can't afford up front are doing so not because they want a comfortable house or, a nice place to sleep. They're doing it because they have been tricked. I disagree with this mindset. And an article from February 12, 2019 on TheGuardian.com by author Anna Dent references a study from Finland in 2009 that shows there is no disruptions in employment. Finland basically had a nationwide experience to give 2,000 people UBI, low-income families. They found no difference in employment actions by the group, but what they did find were several mental health improvements. This shows to bust the theory that people either won't search for a job and both that they cannot be trusted with the job. And inequality has swayed humanity forever. Today, with technology and all advancements, companies are raking in the money. Today, we have discussed UBI and the common criticism associated with them. We are able to bridge the wealth gap. Maybe not completely, but we could aid the movement along with it. People deserve a better shot at life. UBI won't get them out of poverty completely, but it will improve their mental health, and it will help people with stress. People will still live for work. It can still be paid for, and UBI can be trusted to everyday people. Today you have learned these reasons, and you have seen why UBI is a good thing, and I hope you can support that. Let's make UBI a reality. Thank you.